I was balancing our checkbook when I noticed the credit card charges. $3, $200 at Nordstrom, $1,800 at Tiffany & Company, $2,500 at Brooks Brothers. All in a single afternoon, while my wife Amanda claimed to be having lunch with her sister. "Honey," I called from the kitchen table, "did you do some shopping today?" Amanda appeared in the doorway, her face flushed with what I now recognized wasn't excitement about her purchases, it was panic about getting caught. "Just picked up a few things," she said casually. "You know how I get when Lisa and I go shopping together. We enable each other's bad habits." I looked at the charges again. Men's clothing, expensive cologne, a watch that cost more than most people's monthly salary. Unless Amanda had started cross-dressing, these weren't impulse purchases for herself. "Looks like you really went all out," I said, keeping my voice neutral. "Well, it's not like we can't afford it," she replied, and something in her tone, defensive, almost challenging, made my chest tighten. That night, lying in bed listening to Amanda text someone while she thought I was asleep, I made a decision that would destroy her affair and land her lover in jail. I was going to let her keep shopping, with cards that no longer existed. Let me explain how a regular husband with a broken heart and basic understanding of credit card fraud turned his wife's shopping spree into a criminal offense that destroyed her relationship and her freedom. My name is Daniel Martinez, and until 6 months ago, I trusted my wife completely. I work in customer service for a credit card company. Nothing glamorous, just helping people with billing issues and fraud complaints. But that job taught me exactly how credit card fraud investigations work and what happens when people use cards they're not authorized to use. Amanda had been acting strange for weeks. Secret phone calls, mysterious errands, sudden interest in expensive restaurants I'd never heard of. But the real confirmation came when I found the hotel receipt in her jacket pocket, charged to our joint card for a room she'd supposedly never booked. The receipt was from the Marriott downtown, dated last Tuesday when Amanda claimed she'd been at her book club. 2 guests, champagne service, late checkout. Not exactly book club material. So I started watching our credit card statements more carefully, and what I found broke my heart. Amanda wasn't just having an affair, she was funding it with our money. Expensive dinners at romantic restaurants. Hotel rooms. Spa treatments for 2. And now, apparently, a complete wardrobe makeover for her lover. But here's what Amanda didn't know about credit card fraud. The moment I reported our cards as potentially compromised, they became invalid for any future use. Anyone trying to use them after that point wouldn't just be declined, they'd be committing credit fraud. The next morning, while Amanda was in the shower, I called our credit card company's fraud department. "I want to report suspicious activity on my accounts," I told the representative. "I've noticed charges I don't recognize, and I'm concerned someone may have gained unauthorized access to our cards." "We'll flag your accounts immediately and issue new cards with different numbers," she replied. "Are the cards currently in your possession?" "Yes, but I'm worried someone may have copied the information." Within an hour, our existing cards were deactivated. Within 2 hours, Amanda's plastic was worthless. But she had no way of knowing that until she tried to use them. The trap was set. Amanda's next shopping expedition happened on a Friday. She claimed she was meeting her sister for a girls' day at the mall, but I knew she was actually meeting Ryan Parker, the 28-year-old personal trainer who'd been receiving her expensive gifts. I followed them at a distance, watching as they moved from store to store, Amanda swiping our credit card with the confidence of someone who believed she was still using valid accounts. Jewelry store, card declined. Amanda looked confused but laughed it off as a computer glitch. Department store, declined again. This time Amanda called the credit card company, only to be told the cards had been canceled due to suspected fraud. But here's where Amanda made her fatal mistake. Instead of calling me to figure out what was happening, she told Ryan they should go to dinner while she sorted out the temporary issue with our cards. They chose Chez Laurent, an expensive French restaurant downtown where a single dinner could easily cost $300. The kind of place that takes credit card fraud seriously and calls the police when cards are declined for suspicious activity. My phone rang at 7:47 p.m. "Daniel, something terrible has happened." Amanda's voice was shaking, hysterical. "I'm at the police station. They arrested me and Ryan for credit card fraud." I was sitting in my living room, watching the news and eating leftover pizza. "That sounds serious," I said calmly. "What happened?" "Our credit cards were declined at dinner, and when Ryan tried to use his card to cover the bill, they said mine had been reported stolen." "Daniel, they think I stole our own credit cards." "Did you tell them you're authorized to use those cards?" "Of course. But they said the cards were canceled this morning due to suspicious activity. They want to know why I was using canceled cards and why I was with a man who isn't my husband, using cards registered to a different address." "That does seem suspicious. Daniel, you have to help me." They're talking about pressing charges for fraud and conspiracy. Ryan won't even look at me. He's claiming he had no idea the cards were invalid. The silence stretched between us as Amanda processed what I wasn't saying directly. You canceled the cards, she whispered finally. I reported suspicious activity to prevent fraudulent use of our accounts. You knew I would try to use them. I knew someone was using our cards for unauthorized purchases. I took appropriate steps to prevent further fraud. You set me up. I protected our financial assets from someone who was stealing from us. Amanda spent the weekend in jail while Ryan Parker was released after claiming he'd been deceived by a married woman using stolen credit cards. Their romantic dinner had become a criminal investigation that ended their affair and Amanda's freedom. The charges were eventually reduced to a misdemeanor, but Amanda's arrest record became public information. Her employer, a conservative financial firm, terminated her for ethics violations. Ryan changed gyms and blocked her number, abandoning her the moment her legal troubles began. Meanwhile, I documented 6 months of Amanda's unauthorized spending, providing evidence for a divorce attorney who specialized in asset protection and spousal financial abuse. You destroyed my life over some shopping, Amanda said the night she was released on bail. You destroyed our marriage by stealing from our family to buy gifts for your lover, I replied. Those were our cards. I had a right to use them. You had a right to use them for legitimate family expenses. You didn't have a right to fund an affair with our money. 3 months later, Amanda was working retail and living in a studio apartment, paying restitution for the fraudulent charges while fighting a divorce settlement that held her responsible for every penny she'd stolen. Sometimes revenge isn't about being smarter than your betrayer. It's about understanding the difference between what they think they're entitled to do and what the law actually allows them to get away with.